Good morning, everyone, or whatever time zone it is for you guys. How are we all doing? We are here with another Thursday live tutorial session. I once again completely forgot what tutorials I was going to be doing for you guys. I have decided it's going to be a super simple one, how to hide objects inside other larger objects. This is really helpful because you want to avoid having anything underground when you're hiding. Not to say that some people probably haven't done this in their animations before, but at least within the Creator Fund, we are very much told don't hide things underground. So, yeah. Also, I am fully in like an hoodie right now, keeping really nice and warm. I don't care how awful I look. I got out of bed all of about half an hour ago. So there we go. I was doing like work on my phone. I was like, oh yeah, I have to do my tutorial stream. So shoved my hoodie on, shoved a little bit of eyeliner under my eyes to make me at least look 10% more awake. But how are we all doing? I'm also going to very much try and only keep this one to 1 hour. What I'm doing will probably take less than an hour. I'm going to do something very simple. It's going to be a table. I've done quite a few tables before, but it's a very simple one to show you how you can hide stuff. If you've got anything that you would like me to do a tutorial on, please let me know. The notes that I made last time seem to have disappeared, so I don't know what I had planned for you guys at all anymore. So I'm going to have to rewrite up the tutorial sessions I'm doing. But for anybody that doesn't know, the previous tutorial sessions have been 1. How we can unlock the avatars. That was within our first one. They should all be... Oh, sorry. If you follow me on YouTube, they should all be titled in a playlist, the tutorial lives. Sandbox tutorial lives, rather than just like normal tutorial playlist. So you can go over there and rewatch all of those. So I showed you how we unlock, but also how we edit a medium human and try and make it look like he's got a cloak going on. And then I showed you how to unlock and another way to add this, which is what we ended up doing going for this one. And then after that, I showed you how to then add an additional object to this guy. So in this one's case, he ended up... Oh, wait, he's not the final one. Let's say, that doesn't look right. Final scientist. Here we go. Here we are. This is the final one. There we go. This is the unlocked one. So I showed you how you can add a clipboard and then showed you some simple animations with the clipboard. Then we went on to how to break things down to avoid collisions. So with the chair, I showed you how we could break this down to avoid collisions. So instead of jumping up and being stood right on the top, you would actually be able to stand on each individual section. Then last episode we did about how we could make lanterns light up. So we did how to also hide something inside something else, but then animate it to make it light up. Today I'm going to be doing something slightly larger, like a table, and how we're going to hide things inside that table so we can do a bunch of different static animations. So let's start. So I'm going to call this table. Once again, do bear in mind, these tutorials, I do only have an hour to do them, or between an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how my day is planned out. But generally, we don't have long, so I'm not going for high quality assets, I'm going for being able to actually teach you certain things. I also realized I did not tweet this out. Should I tweet it out? I feel like I probably should. Give me a second. There we go. Right, and then once again this evening we will be doing our extended version. When we open up in the Animator, I do everything in the Animator now. I've mentioned this numerous times and I will mention it every single time. So there's a difference between the Animator and the Modeler. Modeler is where you make your simple entities, okay? And this is pretty much anything like that. Like you're just your one single objects, basically. You can't rotate these, you can't do anything within the modeler with those. In the Animator, however, this is where you take those simple entities, your single models you've created, and you can rig them up together, whether you actually want to make a full-on moving animation, or if you just want a scenery item like what we're making here with different static animations. The important thing is, as soon as you open up the Animator, you go control node. Every single time, because we cannot move the root node. We can have child nodes coming off the root node, but we cannot move the root node. So it's important to have this control node so we can move the entire project if we need it to be repositioned rather than having to move individual items. This is super important, whether you call it control node or control or main node, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure you've got something there. And then this is the one reason I always use Animator now rather than Modeler. Because most of the projects I do are compound entities, so they're made up of lots of different models, lots of single entities. You can just make new ones here. You go to library, new VXM, and it just brings up, so if I put table, just brings up the modeler volume box where we can now model what we need. So what I'm going to do, height for the table, I'm going to make 30, and then I'm going to have it quite long. I'm going to make it 60, and we'll make it 40. Okay, then what I'm going to use is the mirroring tool. Hey, Bajon Brock, how are you doing? And, tables are always the same color. I'm going to get some images of tables just to see if there's a different color I could go for. Just any color. Just something different. Okay, we could go for like a cream and wood. Cream and wood. That would be quite nice. I haven't done cream and wood. Happy to see me? Oh, thanks. How am I doing? I'm not too bad. As you can maybe see, I am not very much awake. It's early. Well, early-ish. It's 10. It's 10 in the morning. It's not that early. Not early enough for me to be like it's early. But we're going to pretend it is. So, super, super simple table. I'm going to get this. I think looks quite creamy. This also looks creamy too. Have a little look. Oh, that's a lovely cream. I like that. Right. Let's go up for our table. And I'm thinking probably this work as a nice light wood. No, too light. I'm just gonna move it. There. Maybe a little bit. There. Right, nice. Okay, and we're going to make this table just a little bit thick. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. So we got to make the thickness of the table good enough that we're going to be able to hide things inside of it. I don't know if you can make a tutorial about equipment over YouTube. Yeah, I will be. So that is on my list. I'm guessing by equipment you mean generally showing how to animate it. Yes, I will be. That is what, after I finish this tutorial, that's what I'm meant to be doing as a video tutorial. There'll be one that I'll be doing officially for like updating the Sandbox tutorial section for the Git book and everything that I'm creating, as well as over on my channel. But I wanted to get that out for the Omniverse. Omnimorphs? Omnimorphs. For the contest that's being ran right now. So this is my little hack. If you can't get your, if you didn't do your table legs quite high enough, is you pull the table down and then you just delete it, and there you go, the table legs are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Alright, and I'm gonna go down a little bit different. Oh, hello. Delete. The one that I'm seeing that looks like this, I'll show you a quick picture. So this, I'm doing it based off of this style, kind of, but with cream legs. Thanks so much for being with me, no problem. Let's just hope that I get it edited and everything, because sometimes I'm like, I'm really into the editing process, and then other times I'm not quite feeling it, which then super delays things coming out. And I apologize for that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Looks good. Spent 100 baht over OpenSea. Oh really? What were you buying? I need to move some stuff over, to be honest. Gas price. Oh, it's 54. I might, yeah, I'll probably go move some stuff. Did you manage to get Snoop Dogg avatar? There we go. That's nice. Okay, so we got our table. Once again, like I said, it is the tutorial, so we are not going to be doing high detail. But this is a very nice table. If I wanted to add a little bit more detail, what I could do is take a few shades of brown, lighter or darker, and just make marks on the table to give it that wood effect. We're just having a very smooth table. Make sure always at the top trim volume. Now this is perfectly made to fit this, so I'm not too worried. But what you do need to do is get your pivot right here, right click and set to floor so it's perfectly centered. Perfectly centered. And off of our control node, we are now going to make a child node called table. And now our table is perfectly centered. We want the table perfectly centered, so when it's placed in the game, it can be rotated from that center point, which is where it would be rotated. Things like bookcases, beds, pictures, wall items, perhaps a set of drawers and wardrobes and things, and any sort of an object that would naturally be placed on a wall or next to a wall would probably have the root of the pivot. So if this was a bookcase, pretend it's a bookcase, use your imagination, we wouldn't want it there. So what we would either do is we would either change the pivot here, or we would go to our control node and we would move this. Okay, the top goes out there. So we'd move that so the back is in line with the root right there. But we don't want that. Want it centered. You bought another collection? Awesome. What did you get? Alright, so next we need things to go on our table. I don't want to recreate everything that I've already done before, so I'm going to grab a few things from tables I've made. Goblin Castle. Items. Nope. Items. Asset. Grand dining table. There we go. So we've got some bowls right here. Import. We've got bowls. We've got a big plate thing. And some grapes. Okay, so we've got a few things. And we'll create a few more. So off the table, I'm now going to do create child node. And I'm going to call this bowl node off of the table. And we're going to have bowl 1. Move bowl over there. And then all I'm going to do is position it at the table. And I'm going to duplicate it. So duplicate bowl 2. that across. Table could have probably done being a little bit bigger, but we're not too worried. Duplicate bowl 3. And we're going to duplicate bowl. Call it bowl 5. No. Rename. Bowl 4. Okay, so we've got all the bowls. The reason I've done a bowl node is, and also we need to check that these actually fit in the table. The reason I've done a bowl node is so for some static animations, if I don't want the bowls on the table, I can just move the bowls down altogether. Oh, that sounds cool. Well, as long as you are happy with your purchase, that's always the main thing. Mark Joseph, hey, I'm going to America. Hey, how you doing? So we've got our bowls on our table. We're going to put the plate here as well. So we're going to go table, child node off of the table. I'm going to call this large platter. Whoops. Oh no. Oh. This has only ever happened once. No, twice. Twice this has happened to me before. I think I've broken the rig. If I open it up, oh wait, no, it's fine. I just clicked a bunch of stuff. Click save. Okay, right, no, absolutely fine. I was really worried the rig had broken. Okay, so table, create a child node. I'm just gonna call it platter. I'm gonna grab this. It is a little bit too big for the table. So what we're going to do is edit it. It doesn't need to be this big. We can make this smaller. The main focus for today's stream, for anybody just tuning in, is we are going to be doing how to hide objects to make static animations. Pretty much what we're doing today. That should... you know what? We'll just redo the whole thing. It makes more sense to just redo the whole thing. Redo it smaller. There we go. Right, so that's the base. Go up 1. And everything just needs to come out 1. And go across. Yeah, and then just delete sections. Now we've got it. If I were to set a blade node behind the avatar's back, how would it react in game? Ooh. Probably it would be attached to the back, but it would do the animations as if like when it's attack, like once you've picked up that blade, yeah, it'll stand on the back, but when you try and attack, that sword's gonna be sweeping as if it's meant to be used. If you want to make a character have a sword on its back, then you would make that character have a sword. Like currently right now, obviously we can't do any edits to avatars. The only avatars you can have are by going over to Sandbox.game and going to that avatar section to create your avatars there. The medium humans are not avatars. Even in the Sandbox marketplace, the ones that with the behaviors set to avatars cannot be used as avatars, unfortunately. How am I doing? I'm doing tired. That's how I'm doing. How are you doing? But otherwise, I'm good. Tired, but good. Okay, that platter's a lot more of a reasonable size. Pretty happy with that. And on the platter, we're going to have grapes. I grabbed the grapes. Gonna do a second lot, so duplicate grapes 2. Like that, and then new. I'm just gonna go meat. Still can't get over that that you talked to me yesterday. Oh, bless you. It was awesome. Right, what color's meat? Like, just like uncooked, not like, you know, cooked hams and stuff. Yeah, like a pinkish color. This should be alright, right? Like some, yeah, that's alright color. Brownish. No, not like that. Like lunch, like that. Lunch meat. This. Like the ham that you get to put in your sandwiches. Should be alright. Doesn't need to look great. Doesn't need to look great. Just needs to go on here for me being able to show you how we hide things, because that's what we're doing. The main thing is how we can hide things in a table. Okay, that's all of me. Come on. There we go. Lovely. Purple Lioness, it seems to be ages since I've seen you. How are you doing? Looking forward to our live stream collab. Yeah, me too. It's going to be awesome. Gonna be awesome. I can't wait. I'm super tired right now. I'm fully like been awake an hour. I've been awake for an hour now. I'm in an hoodie, straight out of bed. I was like, yeah, I should probably do the tutorial stream. Should probably show you guys. But yeah, what tutorials do you want? Because I've lost the list. I've lost the list. I have, in fact, lost the list. Okay, and again, I'm not going to use those same... Oh, wait, I've got a cup I want to use. Can't. There we go. And import. Have this magazine while we're at it. And font. Cool. Right. So, yep. This can be number 1 so far. Close the bowls up. Close the platter. The platter's done. Off of the table, we're going to have plant. And I need to make sure that this plant can be hidden in the table. So far, it does not look likely that it will be hidden. Come on, little plant. I can see you out the top. Right, this plant needs editing because I cannot hide it in the table. Just a little bit too fat. Oh, but it's a nice plant. Okay, right. I like the plant. The table's going to be made just a little bit taller. That's all that can be done. All I can do is just make the table slightly thicker. Hope it doesn't look too bad. And then all we need to do is move the bowls up 1, move the platter up 1. Plant should be able to... No, why are you still not hiding? Right, maybe we can get away with... I don't think so. Come on. Hide you. Right, that's where it just... Yeah, it's one too thick. If I extend this out slightly, so it's there, then we should should be able to hide it because now it's the perfect size. Yeah, you get a little peep from the side, like slightly, but I think that should be okay. Do that. Yeah, that's hidden enough that I'm pretty happy with that. You look tired, but your hair looks great. You think my hair looks great? I haven't even brushed it. I literally, this is what I did. I was in bed going, yeah, I'm going to answer Discord messages. I'm going to check up on all my emails. Did all that. And then I was like, oh, that's the time. Should I do the tutorial stream today? Yes, I probably should. Hopped out of bed, grabbed some cereal real quick, ate that within 5 minutes, brushed my teeth, threw on my hoodie, and was like, I'm gonna put a tiny eyeliner before brushing my hair. I was like, I'll put a tiny bit of eyeliner on so I look slightly awake. Yeah, the headphones look sick. The headphones are just normal headphones. I know I've got this mic here, but I don't use this mic. I use my amazing Beacon mic. This mic is absolutely fantastic. Oh, the plushie's all the way over there. I'll grab the plushie for the live stream this evening. But then, yeah, Beacon, check them out. It's BEACN. Really, really cool mic. Absolutely fantastic. I did have to go by, because it didn't come with an arm or anything. My last one's like really small, so I couldn't make the other one fit on the arm that I had before. So I had to buy, like, apologies for the movement. I had to like buy like a whole thing. This is huge and heavy, but it's really good. Right. I've probably messed up my sound now by moving that all around. Okay, table is a little bit thicker than I usually would, but I feel like we can get away with it because of this really thick frame that we got going on. So the plant is now hidden. We're happy with the hidden plant. And then we're going to have a book. I know the book will stay hidden, so we're going to get the book. Or magazine, really. And now the magazine is hidden. And the cup. So I want 2 cups. Because I only want 2 cups, I'm not going to do a cup node. I'm just going to put the 2 cups out. So cup 1. Grab that. And we'll have a cup out. The cup is bigger than the bowl. Then we'll just duplicate this, cup 2, have that over here. Okay, so next up is wait, is that everything? Yeah. Okay, next up is I'm going to be showing you how to do your static animations. I could DM you on Twitter, so I'm a DM. You're gonna DM me on Twitter? Yeah, go for it. And drop your affiliate links. I have one for the Sandbox. Wait a minute. Let me find my. Well, it's a referral link. If you sign, I think it's if you sign up with my referral link. Wait, why is that not signed me in? How rude. Give me a second, guys. So if I go to profile, referral. I don't really have affiliate links. Yeah, so my referral link is if you use my referral link and you purchase something off of the marketplace, then I get a little treat. I like treats, but there you go. There's my Sandbox one. I have one for Upland as well, but that would require me actually logging fully into Upland, which I'm not going to do. Right, so rename animation idle 01. Always have 01 after it. You need to put 01 after it. Always, always, always put 01 after it. Alright, and the next one is we're going to have empty 01, so the whole table's just going to be empty. So what we're going to do, we need to hide the other items. So I'm going to move our bowls down, going to get the platter node, so that moves all of that down with it. Then our cups are individual ones, so no node to move those down. Now, always make sure your little arrowhead is on the 0 mark. Otherwise, you're going to have a little bit of issue. Check that everything is hidden inside. It is. So now we've got our empty. What you do need to do is, for these, when you do static animations, you do need a start and ending keyframe. So you do need it to be at least one keyframe right here. So you would just go to the control node and press this little diamond right here. And there you go. Everything's static. It doesn't move. Does that right? The other thing to note is when you do a new animation, I know I'm in the way of the animations. I never know where to put me. But when you click to do a new animation, it goes off of the position of the current animation you are on. So if we do it as empty, so we're going to click new. And we're going to do tidy 01. And for tidy 01, I'm actually going to just put the plant in the center of the table. So we're still on that 0 mark down here. No, the restream's in the way, which from what I've heard, you guys can't even read the restream properly. So don't know why it's there. And just going to position this plant so it's in the center of the table. Nice and tidy. Tidy 01. We got that. Everything else is still hidden, and we go back to our control node, move our arrowhead to that single keyframe. Every one of those lines is a different frame. Every line is a frame. So pressing this diamond creates a new keyframe. Each of these lines are keyframes. We have our start keyframe of like the originating position, and then our ending keyframe right here for our static. The next one is we're going to have just idle 02. I'm going to keep the plant on there. I am going to bring the mug back up, and I'm going to bring the magazine up as well. And maybe just one bowl. So if I just want one bowl, I'm just going to select that one. Instead of bringing up the whole node, I'm just going to bring that one bowl up. I'm going to have it there. Down a little bit. Now, if I really, really wanted to, I'll show you how to do this because we do have time to make something out of thin air and not coming from another asset. No. So it would, whatever you make appear would need to be hidden somewhere. Now, I've seen a few things, like somebody sent me a link the other week saying, how did this person do this? I'm under the assumption they hid it underground. We are told quite strictly not to hide things underground. So by underground, they mean like below this level. So below the 0 level is hiding it underground. We are very much told hide things inside other things. Even if you have to break that item apart to make it fit inside, that's what you should do. You shouldn't be hiding things underneath the ground level. I do know other people do it. There was a very, very good example, but making something like just appear, not so much. It has to be hidden somewhere. It has to come from somewhere. You can't make it like just be there and be invisible until X moment. So I couldn't just have this book sat there, be invisible for, you know, the first second and then appear for like another second and then just disappear while it's still present on the table. It needs to be coming from somewhere. Otherwise, your kids are home not letting you watch. Don't worry about it. Can you do that on a render program though? Probably. Yes, I'm only slightly good at light trace render for rendering things. I've not really done anything in the way of making that appear, but obviously how it appears in a render isn't how it would work in a game. So yeah, there are ways that you could make that happen in like rendering programs, but in terms of how it looks in Game Maker and what you can do with Voxedit, no, not possible. Right, so we got this, and I will show you. So let's say we've got this one bowl. Got this bowl, it's fine. But we want some bowls that look like there's something inside of it. So there's two ways we can go about this. I'm probably going to go for the slightly easier way. I will show you both ways. Basement. So this has got a bowl of food. Although this bowl of food probably isn't the best. And I don't want... Oh, I know what I'll do. Yeah, go back to the kitchen table. We can just have... Where's my singles? Why do you... There we go. Okay, so I haven't actually added this onto here already, so it's going to appear at the 0 mark for all animations. I'll show you how we can change that. So we're going to have food 01. Just going to move this food here. Whoops, I'm now moving the table. Move the little piece of food. Just kind of place it in the bowl. Sometimes what I do, I do it for like drinks or volumes of water, which is where I would take like this cup. I don't want to make a clone, but let's pretend I made a clone, and I would remove the whole cup area and just have the inside bit so I could make the levels go up and down. Sorry, will it work in Sandbox? Wait, no, don't do that, Den. Den, don't do that. Do not do that. Oh, don't. Okay, so I'll explain that as well, because that is super, super important. No, don't do that. Some people have, in fact, gone and created assets within Voxedit, and then because they cannot currently, and the keyword is currently, because it will open up for everybody. That's what the Sandbox wants. They want to open it up so it's user-generated content. So if you see UGC, user-generated content, content generated by the users, aka everybody, pretty much. It will not, if you take that, what you've created here, and instead of going through the Sandbox and you decide to, because it's not open, you decide to go and do that separately yourself through OpenSea and you sell it that way, number one, it will not directly work with the Game Maker. You will be able to make it appear in the Game Maker. They will be able to see it there. However, it's missing key metadata. So the user who's purchased that asset, they won't be able to upload that as an experience. Like it's, I can show you an example of what it will say if you try. So, I'm just gonna get, so this is the asset that I give away as a giveaway in my streams. This, as you can see, has the verified collection here. It's gone through the Sandbox. I was able to mint this because I'm doing it as a giveaway. Usually it's only selected assets that get chosen to go up for sale. Because I'm doing this as a giveaway, I was permitted to create this and mint it. Well, I had already created it, but I was permitted to mint this to do as a giveaway. Lurking. Hey, I see you, lurker. Appreciate the lurk. So you need it to say verified collection. It having verified collection has key metadata that will allow it to directly work with the Sandbox Game Maker and allow people to be able to upload their gaming experience to the gallery and in future to the metaverse. If it does not have this blue verified tick, it will not directly work. Currently, there is no plans to do a bridging feature for anybody that has minted outside of Sandbox. So if you've minted something outside of Sandbox, it would be up to you as the seller to, when it becomes open for everybody to do it, it would be up to you to then, one, remint. So you would have to remint that asset through the Sandbox so it could work, and then do either like an airdrop to your actual holders and then burn the original that you'd created. So you would need to burn the originals and do an airdrop to the users that own those so they don't feel cheated. A lot of people will not realize this, which is why I strongly suggest just wait until it's open to everybody. I know it can be annoying. You might want to get some, eyes on your project, things like that. But that's what Instagram, Twitter, even the Sandbox Discord do that. Have those uploaded into your inventory over on the Sandbox so they're there, and get eyes on those in different ways rather than that way. They mint some assets on OpenSea. No, they won't. They won't. What, he did Voxedit once? Who's the YouTuber? I'm gonna have to tell him off. This is what I don't like, because this is how misinformation gets spread. The amount of times I've said in the Discord channels about it, I had them update the Gitbook that mentioned about being able to, because you are able to, but people don't realize that they're not going to directly work with the Sandbox, which is a shame. So I've done everything that I can to obviously say it here. So I appreciate you bringing that up, because it is super, super important. If you have the YouTuber's name, obviously I'm not going to actually tell them off, but I will inform them, that these won't work, because this is what I don't like. A lot of people don't realize, so it's not their fault. They just don't realize. And then they're going to get backlash from buyers that have purchased this, thinking it's going to work in their game, and it's not going to. So they're going to get that backlash. So if I can help people not get that backlash, great. That's obviously what I want. I don't want them to get that backlash of, hey, I bought this off of you, it doesn't work, and then go, oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, it's a shame. Anyway, like I told you, because I added this piece of food after I'd already moved everything, it's going to appear on the floor. Now, there's two ways. Because I've moved it up on the table here, I actually don't want it to always be there. So all I'm going to do is, I should have done this first. I'm going to move this in here. I'm going to copy and then just move it idle 1 and then go to tidy. Luckily, I didn't have too many. Usually what I would do is you can move it to the position you want it to hide in, and then you can click send to all, and it will send that position to all the animations. But I'd already positioned it in idle 2, and luckily I didn't have many animations I had to worry about. Once again, do your close, because we have that additional piece of food that we added on here. So just make sure that it's all there, yeah, and make sure everything's hidden, lovely and hidden. So that's pretty much how you go about doing that. That's how you hide things. So we got a whole bunch of static animations that we can toggle through, so you can really start creating unique pieces that are more versatile. The obvious disadvantages is you need anything that you're placing on there, you do need to make sure it fits. Also, probably, I think I'm going to just move this down slightly. In fact, I'm just going to cut half the bottom off of it. Okay. I'm just going to make this just a little bit smaller. Set to floor. So the reason I've done this is the moment, even if it's a static animation, the moment that you do any, even static animations, it will put that collision box over from widest point to widest point. So even though we've got these all broken down, we've got our plant as its single thing, the table is its single thing. If an avatar jumps on top of this table, it's going to be jumping up on top of that top point where that plant is, which is a shame because they are going to be hovering quite high. Oh, that really is a shame. Maybe I shouldn't have the plant. I like the plant. Maybe if I just take the top of the plant. You found his OpenSea. What's his name? Don't put links in the chat. Don't put links in the chat. I don't know how to disable links in the chat. I thought they were auto-disabled. But if you just like type in like the name and then I can find it. But although finding his OpenSea doesn't really help find him, but maybe it will. Maybe we can find his YouTube. It'd probably be a personal thing of mine to go find it. But yeah, don't buy ones that don't have the verified tick. Sorry, no, you don't need to say sorry. Don't need to say sorry. Don't worry. But what's his OpenSea? What's his OpenSea? And then maybe I can find him that way. He got Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. If you can find his Twitter. I'm wondering if it's the person. I don't think that person was a YouTuber though. But I did have somebody like send me a thing going like, what do you think of my, like, this is my new collection I've just put on OpenSea. And so I had to tell him like, you know, that's not going to work in the Sandbox game. And he seemed to appreciate the fact that I told him that because he didn't realise. No! Is that the same person? I might have deleted. Little Nori. I'm sure Little Nori's been in my chats. Little Nori, no. Yes. Little Nori should know. Metavox. They're going as Metavox. If their assets have the blue verified tick, it's absolutely fine. If they don't, then it's not going to work. Is this your normal streaming time? So, Thursday this time is my tutorial streams, and then my usual time is PM UTC. I mean, they are good. The assets are good, but at the same time, I'm gonna see if the collection. Yeah, no, they're not gonna work. They know this. They know this. That's actually irritated me a little bit because they know. They've been in multiple streams and they've been on like the live Sandbox ones, so they know. They don't have blue tick. Yeah, I've just found it. Yeah, they know. That's what's irritating me. So Thursdays, 10 AM UTC, I do tutorials. This tutorial, up until this moment, has been about how you can hide objects inside other objects to make multiple different animations. Or static animations, really. So there's no actual movement. We just have a different set of animations that that have different things, and how we can go about hiding these. So you can do this, so you can make your assets more versatile. So that's this tutorial. I do have a full playlist on live tutorials if you want to go through that. If there is certain tutorials that you want me to do, then let me know. We are coming to the last 10 minutes and we have pretty much finished this. We'll go over a few key points and then we'll probably discuss one sec. We'll discuss what we can do next tutorial stream. So the first couple of key points is you do need to remember that even though all the assets are broken down, so they've all got their own separate collision boxes, their bounding boxes, they've all got their own separate collisions. As soon as you do any more than one animation, regardless of whether it's static or not, it will put a collision box from around the entire thing from highest point. So it will do a collision box from the top of here. So if an avatar does jump on that table, even when the table's empty, they're going to be jumping slightly above the table. Is that a little bit annoying? Yes, it is. There are a possible few ways that I could go about potentially changing that to make it work. But I'm not too worried about the... How high is it? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The extra 6 voxels of height. Is there any way to avoid that? Avoid it being above. So the only way would be... This is what you could do. So you could take your table. So I'm going to call this table top. I'm going to grab the table top. And I'm going to delete all of that. As well as 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I say it was 5 or 6? I'm going to make it just one less right there. Trim. Set to floor. And then off of the table, just call this top. Where's the top? There it is. And now I'm going to place the top. We need this positioned correctly. It's going to sit there, so it's sitting perfectly inside. We've not got any Z fighting or anything like that because it's all the same color and it's positioned exactly correctly. Then when you go to empty, which one was it on? Here we go. So we go to table top. We send to all for this position. We also close it and send to all for that position. Oh, and another tip is whatever you're doing, if it's static animation, everything needs to have a start keyframe and an end keyframe. So one frame, so one of these little lines, move your arrowhead to the first frame and then just press the diamond while you're on control node. What we're going to do is go to empty now and take that out, go here, and we're just going to raise the table. So that is probably the only way, so when they jump on top of it, but now you've got an extra thick table, it doesn't look particularly great compared to there to there. Maybe some people won't notice, but that's probably the easiest way to do that, which is about yeah, that's perfect height actually. There you go. Did you erase the single frame? Okay, to erase a frame, I just click so it highlights. So I just mouse click on it and I press delete. And if I wanted to delete like a whole thing, I would hold control and drag until it highlights it and then press delete. When are you officially Sandbox tutorials coming? I don't know. I'm in the process of creating them. The current ones that are out are the ones made by Alex, and they are outdated. It was more important for, it was more important, oh gosh, shush, shush, shush. It was more important to get the written stuff done for the Git book, in other people's eyes than to get a bunch of videos done. So the written stuff is almost complete. I've already done 2 videos for the tutorials, but obviously they'll want quite a few ready to go out. Then what is the delete command? I just delete on the PC. You can go to, where is it? Preferences, and it'll show you all of these. But delete keyframe is delete. As in delete. There's a button for it. It's called del. It doesn't mean Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses. It means delete. I'm joking, by the way. How do other animations activate in game? I assume there's additional steps to do when placing assets in GameMaker. That is correct. So for something like this, when you export it, there's a bunch of behaviors that you can give it. Something like this would most likely have the behavior as animated decoration. And that will sort of prerequisite it when it's in GameMaker. However, you can change all of these behaviors in GameMaker, and I'll show you what I mean right now because we have 5 minutes, so I might as well. So what I'm going to do, export. Choose the thumbnail that I want. Move this out here. New asset. Table delete because I don't want to keep it. And right here, I could change it to animated decoration. I'm just going to leave it as none. So I can show you what to do in GameMaker. Continue, please. There we go. Furniture, wood, and none. Doesn't really matter. And I believe that they've updated this where we don't need to click a plus button on our own assets yet. So right here, there's no plus button anymore. This is new. This is brand new. This should now appear in my inventory automatically, which is great. I'll open up GameMaker. Oh, delete. Yeah, literally the delete button. Delete, not Del Boy. That Del next to end. Del means delete. I'm joking. I know you know. Right, so we'll just go to this one. This is my test area for testing assets out. Which you should always have a test area that you don't mind having to delete that test area if something is broken to test out your assets. And then that way you don't have to worry about accidentally breaking your game. So table. Where are you? There it is. Table delete. So when we are in here, let's just move this a bit closer. There we go. Right, so when we're in here, all you do is go to behavior over here, animated decoration, and now you can actually select which one. So I can select empty. It will show it as the automatic, so it will show it as idle 1 until you enter the game. So it's automatically on idle 1. I'm going to put it on idle 2. And I'll go over. Took a few seconds to refresh. Now I'll go out. I'll select it again. Change it to empty, mainly because I want to see what that looks like. But it's not too bad. Then we're being... Okay. I'm still slightly too high. I don't think that looks too bad. The other way, oh, this is another thing that you can do. So what you could do, let's say you've made something like this. So I generally suggest this if you're creating an asset that is for you to use, not really one for you to sell, because not everybody is going to know how to do this or want to go through the effort of doing this. But what you can do is you can have no collisions on your table, but you obviously still want it to have some form of collision. So I'm just going to put stone, I think it is. So I'm going to get this flagstone right here. You could use invisible blocks as well, but it's not perfect height. I'm just going to place these along the bottom. There's probably a better asset I could do this with, but this is the chosen one. Right, and then I'm going to highlight. It'll let me, because I've placed it in a silly place. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have put it straight under the table. Is there a longer one? This. No, that's too big. So we'll just place that. Place that. Place. Place. Hold shift while clicking. We want them to be invisible. And we want them to have collision. And then you just place it on your table like that. So now, actually on top of the table. Although I placed them a bit too high. But there you go. Can you make it interactive? Clicking on it consumes food, then heals you. So there are ways to do that. What you would do is you would grab the table and duplicate it. Place the table pretty much right there. Have that table as invisible and change that to healer. So the thing is, the animated decoration lets you choose between all of those different animations, but you can't have it as a healer and like that. I'm also gonna have to put a wolf out here to show you it healing me. And let's put the wolf over there so I get a chance. We'll go over. Come on, attack me. Attack me. Come on, attack. Wow, what a lazy wolf. Right, and then we go over here, and it should... There we go. Now it's healing me. So you'd probably have the... If you wanted idle 1, because idle 1 would be what appears. So if you wanted idle 1, you could just turn that to a healer and it will just heal you straight away, and you won't need to make a second one and make it invisible. But if you want perhaps maybe tidy with the plant on top. So we got the plant on top. Come on, attack me. Come on. I'm literally right here. Right, thank you. And then we go up to it. Start healing us. Yeah. So that's how you would do that. And do remember that if you purchase an asset, so as an example, let's say I mint this table. You really, really want this table, but you want to do something where you use 2, 1 invisible, 1 like that. You still only need 1. You only need to hold 1 of those assets to use it multiple times in your game. However, if you make multiple game experiences, you would need multiple of those assets if you wish to use it. So 1 asset is good multiple times in 1 game. If you have 2 assets, then you can use it multiple times in 2 games, and so on and so forth. Oh, and this is what I mean. So what's come up here is assets that are not approved. So I could quickly show you this as well. So you can, obviously the metaverse isn't live, but you can upload games to the gallery. So if I wanted to do that, I would call this tester and give it a description. Tester, panda, la 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 la. share, and it will say that these failed to publish to my game because these are assets that have invalid states, so they're not approved assets. These are not approved. I could click to publish assets, but nobody's approving those. Also, I don't want to. This is my test area. So that is what would appear if you purchased an asset off of somebody that is not a verified Sandbox asset. So, and keep them until the market. Yes. You can keep them. You can use them in your experiences, create those experiences. The only things you can't do is obviously upload those experiences to the gallery, like I just showed you. The only other thing is if you are taking part in the game jams and you want to create your own assets, they do allow that, but you have to fill out like a form and send off all of those assets to be approved. DJ EJ, hey, you've come right at the end. I'm still trying to find this person's YouTube, but I don't think they've posted it to YouTube. They've only posted it to I think they've only got a Twitch. Which is a shame, because that means I now need to go and actually follow them. Not follow them, watch them. I don't mind following them. It's a shame because now it means that I have to actually tune in to tell them. But I'm not going to have time to do that. So I'm just going to tell you guys, don't purchase things that do not have a verified tick for the collection, because they won't work. They won't work. They did on Twitch. They did it on Twitch. Okay, fair enough. It won't work. Maybe if you're watching their Twitch, you can tell them. Just be like, those assets won't work. Maybe DM him. He knows. He knows. He literally knows. That's the thing. That's the thing. He does know. Yeah, that's a shame. Way to export assets that are larger than 200. I made a skyscraper in Voxedit, but can't make it larger than the character model in Game Maker. When you're doing it, are you put it in the Animator? If you haven't already, move it to the Animator. Because you can definitely make things taller than 256. In fact, if I remember correctly, we're allowed to make buildings up to 16 meters, but don't hold me to that. I am going to double check. Okay, yeah, so a tower is allowed to go up as high as 16 blocks. 16 blocks tall. So yeah, what you do need to do is move it to the Animator. I strongly suggest, even if you're just making one thing, always move it over to the Animator. Just do root and then name it. If it's just one entity, you probably don't need a control node. Just make sure it's centered correctly. Make sure you got that pivot point centered. Make sure the pivot point's centered. Center the pivot point. Center it. Floor, center. Center floor. But yeah, you're allowed... If it's like a tower, so a skyscraper, then it can be 16 blocks high. So 500 and something voxels. Otherwise, with the rest of it being 8 by 8 by 16 is the largest footprint you should aim for. And a normal building, so like a house or something, should be around 8 by 8 by 4 to 8. So 4 would be like a first story like maybe a supermarket shop, grocers, butchers, just a general store, bungalow type situation. And then maybe a actual house is about 8 blocks tall. And then monuments also shouldn't exceed 8 height. Oh wait, no. The max height for a monument should be 16 either. So the uppermost limit is 16 meters. And then if they're not verified, so they're doing it on OpenSea, so you can mint your own collections on OpenSea. Anybody who so if you purchase something that somebody has minted through OpenSea, saying like this is, you know, made through Voxedit, it will appear. If you buy it, it will appear in your game. You will be able to place it in your game. However, it will not actually directly be usable. You will not be able to publish that at all because it will not be a verified collection. And if they choose to verify that asset by doing it through the sandbox, they would either, number one, they would need to either airdrop the previous people because there's no bridging of it. There's no bridge to bridge something that you've created over on OpenSea over to the sandbox, because when you mint things, there's metadata. So when you do it through sandbox, it gets given certain metadata that it doesn't get when it's minted through OpenSea. If you mint something through sandbox, through all those official channels, you will be able to sell it on OpenSea. Like the assets that I've created, I've done auction pieces. I've created them on the Monday official Sandbox channel, and then we've done auctions of them where they've been minted and I've put them up for auction, but they still have that blue verified tick. Always look for that blue verified tick. Anybody that does not, like this collection, these are not, see? There's no blue. Includes unlockable content. Don't know what that means at all. Not too sure what that means. Maybe they've worked something out with somebody. Don't know, but as far as I'm aware, this would not directly work with the sandbox. Unless something's changed, which I don't believe it has, because I should be informed if something's changed. But yeah. If you want something, make sure it has the verified collection. And also, go over to the Sandbox Marketplace. So many times have I seen... Wait, if I just go Sandbox Assets... I'm just going to show you this, because this is crazy. I don't know if any more have sold. But... Pirates... Dog. There we go. So my Pirate Sea Dog, current price, apparently is 14 sand. So 14 hours ago, that's another one. That's another one. 14 hours ago. Do you know how much this is? This is 7 point something over on the Sandbox Marketplace. There are still some up for sale on the Sandbox Marketplace. Right here, 7.35. Oh wait, if I have to go over here. 7.35. 7.35. They could have almost got 2 for that cost. One sold. I don't get this. By the way, you don't get royalties for secondary sales. So all of these. This guy has sold so many. I mean, I'm kind of not mad. Like, because they bought a whole bunch, but they're selling them for almost double. Well done. Look, 17. Somebody could have brought 2 with change. They would have had change left over. Always go to the marketplace. If you see it, so they're overpaying a bit. Yes! They could go and buy mine. And actually pay me, the owner, the artist. Oh. But I mean, I'm not totally mad. This person, you know, purchased them. They can do what they want with them. Good for them. But I just think if it's happening to me, it must be happening to other people. So if you see an asset over on OpenSea, look at the name. Go, okay, Pirate Sea Dog. There's 1.5 in total. Maybe 194 owners don't own the total amount, maybe I'll hop over to OpenSea, not OpenSea, maybe I'll hop over to the Sandbox Marketplace and take a look. Maybe do that, just, you know, copy and paste that into the marketplace. Copy and paste any of these to make sure. But he's sold so many. Good on him. Should we royalty for artists? I do agree somewhat. I don't mind Sandbox taking the percentage that they take on the sales when they're listed on the Sandbox Marketplace. They so if I listed it for 7 sand, they automatically add their percentage on top of that. It's just only on the secondary sales over on OpenSea and things like that that the artists don't get paid because it's a Sandbox asset. But that person, I think that person bought, like, to be honest, I'm surprised they're not coming back to buy more of mine. They're just like, oh, I'm making money. They must be like, I'm making so much right now, knowing that they could buy it for 7 sand and sell it for almost double, sometimes more than double. They should just buy out my whole collection. I'd be happy. But yeah, just, if it's happening to me, it must be happening to other people. So I just do strongly suggest that, you know, just check the Sandbox Marketplace so at least the artists can get some of those sales. That's funny. I find it funny, but also a little bit annoying. Anyway, we need to finish. I've overran again. I said I only wanted it to be an hour. It's not. It's been an hour, 15 minutes. So, unfortunately, the extended stream will end 15 minutes early. Plus, it goes right. In fact, oh. No, because at 10 PM we get to see what our Snoop avatars look like. Lol, play meme. This is... right. We need to finish. So we're gonna do the finishing thing. You know, where I end my stream. That good old thing. Right, so tune in this evening where we'll be doing our extended live stream. Most likely will be 7 PM UTC. It may start a tiny bit earlier depending on when I get dinner done, how much time I have. So anywhere between 6 PM UTC till 7 PM UTC, I will be starting the Thursday evening extended live stream where we'll be making a ton of assets for my game. As always, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the metaverse. Goodbye!